28 weeks later, the horror of survival, betrayal, and unstoppable infection. Welcome to the apocalypse. The place where you can't even trust your own shadow, or your own family. Today, we're diving deep into 28 weeks later, the horrifying sequel to 28 days later, where the end of the world is just the beginning. And trust me, the world doesn't end nicely, it ends like a bad breakup, followed by a bloody, rage-fueled rampage. This isn't just about fighting infected zombies, people. No, this is about the raw, unflinching look at human selfishness, the guilt of survival, and the kind of hellish revenge that only a virus can fuel. So grab your emergency rations, load up your flamethrowers, and make sure to check your loved ones for bite marks, because we're about to really get into it. Let's kick this off with Don. Oh, Don. Played by Robert Carlyle, who looks like the kind of guy who'd give you a warm, apologetic smile, then stab you in the back while apologizing for it. The opening scene. Delightfully horrible. Don and his wife Alice are hiding out in a remote house in the countryside with a small group of survivors. They're safe, for now. But we know how this ends. We've seen the trailers. We've seen the posters. Nothing good ever comes from a small group of people hiding in a secluded cabin when there's an apocalyptic virus lurking. Then enters our young, innocent boy. He's running. He's frantic. And of course, the not-so-smart survivors let him in. Why? Because why not? What could possibly go wrong? Beat. And it's not like the infected might follow him, right? Nah, that would be too obvious. But oh, guess what? The infected follow him right into the house. It's a bloodbath, and our dear Don. He runs. Not just runs. Abandons Alice to her fate. I mean, we all have our moments of selfishness, but this is next level awful. And that is what this film is about, selfishness, betrayal, and the irreversible consequences of making the wrong call when your survival instinct kicks in. Flash forward 28 weeks later, surprise, and England is a bit more cleaned up. The infected are all dead, probably starving to death in the corners of their own rage, which is ironic and very fitting. The New World Order. The Green Zone. It's like that, safe zone, in every disaster movie that's actually just a glorified prison camp, except with fancier uniforms and a lot more surveillance. Everything's sanitized. Everything's under control. At least that's what they tell you. But as we all know, nothing is ever under control. Enter Don's kids, Tammy and Andy. They've been chilling in Spain while everyone else was busy turning into rabid monsters. Now they're back, looking to reconnect with their dad, who's managed to land a cushy job in the green zone. You'd think he'd be thrilled to see his kids, but nah, he's too busy wallowing in guilt and dodging any serious conversations about why he abandoned their mother. Instead, he tells them a convenient little lie. I tried to save her, but there was nothing I could do. Oh, Don. You poor, delusional, self-serving moron. But hey, who needs honesty when you've got a military-run safe zone, right? I mean, it's not like there's a world-ending virus outside the fences. So, naturally, the kids decide to take a little stroll outside the zone to visit their old house. They find the place in ruins, and Alice. Alive. Hiding in the attic. Pale. Shaking. Still somehow, freakishly alive. It's like a scene ripped straight from a horror fan's nightmare. But Alice isn't just surviving. Oh no. She's immune. And that little twist. It's like the film's way of saying, oh, you thought the infection was over. Guess again, sucker. But hold on to your seats, because what comes next is a real kicker. Alice's blood could be the cure. She's the solution. But the military. They're all about containment, not saving the world. Now, let's talk about that twist. Alice's blood has the virus in it, but she's immune. That's a problem. A big problem. Because Alice isn't just holding the secret to salvation, she's also a ticking time bomb. And what does the military do with this information? Did they research it? Study her? Test her for the greater good? Nope. They say, let's execute her and cover it up. Why? Because it's easier to put a bullet in the head of the problem than try to understand it. Meanwhile, Don, our ever so reliable hero, sneaks into Alice's holding cell. And look, he doesn't even have the decency to sit down and talk to her about what he did. He just goes for the tender kiss. You think there's going to be a heartfelt reunion. Maybe some understanding of his own guilt. Nope. The next thing you know, Don's infected. And guess what happens next? He does what any good, loving husband would do. He crushes her skull with his hands and runs off, spreading chaos like a toddler in a toy store. But hey, he's still a man of action. Action that gets him infected and kills a bunch of soldiers. Gotta admire the commitment to ruining everyone's day, right? The Green Zone. Now it's a war zone. And it's not even the cool kind of war zone with explosions and stylish death. This is the kind of war zone where people run from a virus, snipers get nervous, and the world starts to fall apart again. Like that perfect, orderly IKEA shelf you've been working on. Only this time, the screws are missing, and the whole thing's about to collapse. Scarlett, who, honestly, we should just call the adult in the room, tries to save the kids. They have hope. They have the cure. Or maybe they do, because at this point, who even knows what's real anymore? But the best laid plans. They fall apart faster than a wet tissue paper when Dawn's rage-fueled zombie ass shows up and tries to murder everyone. It's chaos. It's mayhem. It's like trying to escape a horror movie after everyone's forgotten the script. So, after all this, the kids manage to escape, just barely. It's a chase through abandoned streets, through chaos, through a city on fire. They make it to the helicopter, and then we get the final gut punch. The infection isn't gone. It's just left the island. For France. Infected people are now storming through Paris, running like it's Black Friday and the latest iPhone just dropped. And you know what the real kicker is? Andy's still a carrier. Hope gone. The virus still alive. And now, it's crossed borders. Now everyone is infected. 28 weeks later is a masterclass in what happens when humanity faces its own demons, and when it decides that survival is worth anything, even the worst possible price. The virus doesn't care. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're a good person or a horrible one. It doesn't care if you're trying to save the world. It just hunts. It spreads. And the real horror. The terror that sticks with you, long after the infected have been put down. It's knowing that, in the end, we are the real infection. It's our choices. Our selfishness. Our abandonment of those we love. The virus is the metaphor, my friends. But we are the true monsters. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you ever find yourself running from an infected horde, remember, the only thing scarier than the virus is the guilt of being alive.